are now tuned in to Coffee Talk on LE Radio. Serving you up some new flavor, fresh out of ATL. Where the vibes prevail, the convo's held between a scale of 1 to 10 exceeds 1,000. But do you feel me? Go ahead and get your cups ready as we pour into your mind, slow and steady. You may need a full cup for this. CoffeeTV.com. We got raw and adulterated conversations, live, provocative entertainment, new flavor in your ear from my podcast, talk show, radio. Watch us live online in the studio. Tell a friend they can come too. Never know what's in store with the whole crew. Cause we got you. Yeah. Get here for the vibes. Follow us at LE Radio Live.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, y'all.
What's good?
Hey,
It's Friday.
Yes, ma'am. You know what it is. Been waiting on this all week.
All week.
Waiting on. I was so excited, y'all. Today I left my notes at home, but we gonna keep it moving. Welcome to the ATL Mixx. I am your host, Ashley.
Special guest and Beezy.
Not special guest, girl. Like all day.
The original host.
Yeah, the original.
And you got me, Lady Poetry, aka Brittany, and we're so excited to do tonight. Like, I'm ready for this.
I am too, girl. It's gonna get hot.
Yes.
So today's
Can't get her.
out here. Today's session we will be talking about colorism. Light skin versus dark skin or brown skin.
Right. And everything in between.
Huh?
I said, and everything in between.
I hear Brittany.
Oh.
Why you don't hear Brittany? You don't hear Brittany?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We good?
I can't hear you. But we good. I hear you.
Okay, cool.
Is anybody live looking? Cause do they hear her? Does everyone hear Brittany?
They should be able to. Hopefully they can.
Hopefully.
If not, if you can't hear me, please comment below.
It's like we can't hear Brittany.
Right. Well, I guess we can start though, just in case.
Okay, let's get it started, Britt.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we could talk about a little bit what inspired this particular one. So it's a conversation, right, that you were having. You were talking about basically colorism, light skin versus dark skin, and then we also got to throw brown skin in there too. Out. And everything. And this debate has always been very interesting to me as somebody who kind of navigates in the middle. And kind of basically depending on the region, it will depend on whether or not I'm team dark skin or team light skin.
Right.
So this has always been like a very necessary conversation for me. I don't know about how you guys feel.
Yeah, it's I don't really I hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, but I don't really have a well, I used to have a preference. I was always, somebody light skin. I want me a light skin. I want light skin babies. The camera don't feel them.
Uh-oh, camera. There we go. I see y'all.
Keep talking. Anyway. Yeah, but I used to have a preference. I always wanted something light skin. But now I'm loving the dark skin. Dark skin, man. Dark skin, brown skin. That's me right there, y'all. What about you, Amber? How you feel?
I really don't have a preference, but like I seem like I only attract light skinned dudes or brown skin.
Oh,
Never the dark skin. I think the dark skin is stuck up. You mean to me?
What?
Well, not
what?
stuck up, but like I don't know. I can't explain.
It's usually the other way around. What about you,
Right.
Ray? What's
No,
your preference?
so I like to say I don't have a preference because I would much prefer somebody chocolate or darker than me. But if you look at my dating history, clearly I like them light skinned and tall. So like I don't know where that's from, but I don't say that. I don't think anybody dark skinned that I met has been stuck up. If anything, usually most people think light skinned people are stuck up, which is interesting.
Exactly.
So it's interesting that you say that because I've gotten that. I actually somebody that I had randomly met one time. They had saw me before, like a year before, and they thought they were like, "Oh, you probably stuck up because you light and got them pretty eyes." That's what I usually get.
Oh yeah, you do.
You got the eyes, girl. I
Yeah.
don't know.
They're like, "Oh yeah, you." I thought you was gonna be a stuck up bitch. So I'm like, that's why
Ooh.
would you tell somebody that? But okay,
Shit, that's what it is. Because
right.
sometimes that is how it is. Some light skins be stuck up for whatever reason. I guess they got that light skin syndrome. I don't know. Mm-mm.
Right, and
Light
that's funny
skin.
that we're kind of talking about colorism from the perspective of relationship because I think that's what a lot of people think of when they think of colorism. They think of like relationships, dating, and everything else like that. And a lot of people don't even think about it on like a professional stage as well, like with
Right.
work
Mm-hmm.
and everything else like that. So I think it's always interesting when we have these conversations about colorism, how it always generally comes back to intimacy and relationships.
Right. But even friendships too, because
Hmm.
I thought about something today. I only really have for real, I think I only had like two light skinned, like really light skinned friends.
Mm,
Most of my friends throughout the years were always dark skinned or brown skinned. I never really had many light skinned friends.
mm.
Yeah, I don't even have any.
You don't have
Like
any.
brown skin or something.
Yeah.
Not really. I just had two. Tina and Felicia. Like, them my red friends. The only two red bitches that like me in this world, y'all. Except my auntie.
So, do you think that's a part of like just where you are, or do you think that it was like a subconscious choice?
I don't know. She just done made me think about it. Maybe I don't like y'all red bitches. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it was my
Yep, that's
it was my
probably.
choice. I don't like y'all like skin. I just went. I like everybody. I love you all. It don't matter what your
Yeah.
color is sometimes.
Well, contrary to what's shown on the screen right now, I'm actually not very light. This light is just giving me everything right now. But me personally, like thinking friends wise, because most of my friends are multicultural, so I've got like all types of shades of color.
Right.
So I can't really say whether or not a majority or one or the other.
Hmm.
Um, but it is interesting if we break it down to like out of all of my black friends, I think it's probably pretty much mixed, half and half. Most of them are probably brown around the same color that I am.
Yeah.
I think
But
like when we were younger, it was like a stigma of like light skin was like the better skin color. So
Mhm.
everybody wanted something light skin, or if you was light skin, you was like
Mhm.
popular. And in the dark skin, it was just like, oh, there goes so and so.
mhm.
It wasn't no, oh, everybody stop and look at the dark skin
Yeah.
girl. We was always African booty scratchers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
Like, I'm just
Well,
saying.
we got a comment though. So a comment says, "Does light skin privilege exist? If so, how? I mean, if we're talking about intimacy, is there something you would let a light skin partner do that you wouldn't let a dark skin partner do? Like, do you feel like light skin privilege exists?"
Oh, it definitely exists today and
You
back
think
then.
so?
They
Could you
still. I
define
think
it?
they get better opportunities, like with music videos. Like, say for instance, like they'll pick a light skin over a dark skin.
Speaking of
Mm.
music videos, I just seen something this week where I think it was the baby and somebody.
It's a yo. I think it was Yo. Was it Yo Gotti and the baby? It was somebody. and the baby. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
had a
they only
video.
had like red women, nobody dark. I think I seen a spot,
Yeah,
one
they
little
had a
spot, but
little
it was so
spot.
quick, you
Yeah.
barely missed her. Like,
Mhm.
was she there? Or was it a, or I just really wanted somebody dark skinned to be in there, so I thought I seen somebody dark in the video.
Yeah, they'll put a little speck just so they won't seem like it's just all light skins. And
Right.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
as far as like light skin privilege, from my perspective, I think some people can kind of try and say there's such thing as a light skin pregnancy because it's all about proximity to whiteness at the end of the day.
Right.
It's all about how light you are. So there may be certain advantages that may be given, but as far as like on an intimacy level, I think there's cons on both ends to being light skinned and everything. Like I know a lot of people were talking about, the house slave versus the field slave and how light skinned house slaves were treated better, and it's like, well no, they were in the house, yes, but they were closer to master to get raped, and they were closer to the wife to get beat on. Like they were closer to a lot of those different issues that happened inside.
Mm.
So is it really a privilege to be light skinned, or is it just a different set of issues?
It still was a privilege to me because I mean I would take being inside and
being raped.
getting the air conditioner or being right. Nah, I ain't saying being right
Oh
unless he
Lord.
got that fire punch thing. I'm joking, but no, for, not to make light of slavery, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Right.
For me, I think I can't deal with the heat. I probably would have rather been inside. But that's just me. I don't like to be outside. I'm not an outside person. So I probably wouldn't have made it back then with my black behind.
But that is an interesting question on an intimacy level, because you said you prefer like dark skinned men. Would you be, if you had a light skinned guy versus a dark skinned guy, is there a difference in how you're with them intimately? Do
I
you think?
had I had light skinned guys when I was young. When I was younger.
Hmm.
Get myself back up. I had light skinned guys when I was younger because that was my preference. And intimate, see, it was no difference. I think they already, yeah, no. There's no difference. I'm still gonna love the side. Okay.
Well, I mean, the reason why I asked is because, like men specifically, they got these jokes about how like light skin men are extra sensitive, and they kind of like girly, the great crying tears, whereas dark skinned men are usually much stronger and everything else like that. So I was just wondering, like, as someone who dates men, like, if
I
that
think
changes your mind on an intimate level too.
I think dark men are, from my experience, darker men are a little stronger than the lighter men. They are kind of, I'm not gonna say they weak, but they're a little
Sensitive.
sensitive. Exactly. They're a little sensitive. Versus the darker guys I dated, they was like macho.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because it's a dark skin thing or what, but that was really macho. What
Okay.
about in your field? What about light skin versus intimate?
Honestly, like I said, in my dating history, they all ended up being light skinned and tall. So honestly, I think when it comes to women, there isn't a difference. Not the one that I've experienced anyway. As
Mm.
far as level of aggression and strength and everything. It's
Mm.
more of an energy based than the actual determined by like skin tone. At least in my experience, I could be just a one off though, but in my experience, there's not a difference between the two. I don't think a light skinned masculine centered woman is inherently more sensitive or softer than a dark skinned masculine centered woman. Like that's not been my experience
Mm.
so far. Let me put so far on that. Like so, because that might change now. But like so
Right.
far, that's not been my experience. So to get back to the music video, because another part of what we were talking about is like in the music industry, how light and dark colorism plays a big part, especially in artists as far as like in their music videos, but then also the artists themselves. Because we were talking about Amala La Negra, who is
Mm.
Spanish, Afro Latina, and her producer, the guy, was basically like, "You need to be more like J Lo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta give me more of that, and
Yeah,
no,
check.
the natural hair and everything, like he's kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
it's
She
an
made a
interesting
big thing about
concept.
it because it was serious.
She did. I loved her little fro. Only to find out it
Yeah.
was fake, but
Right.
it was
Yeah, I
cute,
didn't even know it was
whatever.
fake. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was fake.
They said
I
it was fake. It wasn't real.
no.
That's just what I heard. I don't know how true it is. Don't quote me. Allegedly, it was not
Right,
a real
allegedly.
afro.
Right, allegedly.
Okay. She tricked us, y'all. What about that one lady? What was her name? Who was she was, but that's black and white. Never mind. She wasn't
Well, I
even
mean,
black
it
at
still kind of
all.
goes.
Hmm.
You said it still kind of goes. What lady were you talking about?
The one who acted like she was black the whole time, and she ended up it coming out her parents were white. Is
Oh,
white?
Rachel Dolezal.
Yes, her.
Yeah. So, I
Yes.
mean, honestly speaking, if we're going to talk about light skin privilege and proximity to white, she would definitely be somebody that falls under that because nobody questioned her blackness at all.
Mhm.
They didn't. But when I
You
seen
know,
her, I
nobody
was
questioned
like,
her
yeah, she kind of look light skinned, but she don't look black. You know what I'm saying? Like she's something. She ain't us. Okay.
blackness. Oh, we
She
got
ain't us.
another comment. It says, I want to go to the grocery store and cash in on my light skin privilege. I know, right? If it can turn into money, definitely.
Exactly.
Well, do you
But
think
y'all do got little privileges, though. I'm just saying.
Mhm.
there's the privileges and things?
I
I don't
do.
know. So, like I said, as one of those people that kind of find myself in the middle because of my features. So it's not that I'm just a little bit lighter, but I also have like European S features when it comes to like my eyes and different things. So I can say that there are times where in I guess you're saying like relationship settings, intimate settings when I'm dealing with people where people have told me that, oh, I like you because you like, or I would marry you or I'd have a baby with you because you like, and make
Okay.
comments like that, like it's supposed to be this magnificent thing. And I'm always troubled by that because me personally, I want me a chocolate baby. I
Mm.
want me a
Me
little
too.
chocolate blob for real if
Me
I
too.
can have it. And so I'm just like, why would you? That's the end. So how do you guys feel about that? People actually choosing their partners to have kids. Because I've heard that men do that, especially black men with white women, purposely
Right.
have kids with them to have lighter skinned children.
Mixed kids with pretty hair, I guess. But you know what? That ain't always true though, because I know this one chick. She, she mixed, and her baby hair came out very, very blackish. Okay, and it was not mixed at all. Okay, it was just like my baby hair, little, little curls in the back, real, real tight, nappy, like a auntie. Not just, not for real, like a auntie. Yeah, but her baby hair was so that's not always a guarantee. It depends on who genes stronger than who.
Hmm.
That's
I
all
was
it is.
on Facebook. It was a couple of years ago. There's like an actual. I don't know if the group is there now, so don't quote me. Anybody who's watching and tries to go look for it. There was a group of white women. They were on Facebook and they were actively seeking black men to have children with.
I seen that. It was like a
And they were like,
group.
it was like a group of them, and they're like, yeah, we about to have, like they're wanting to become even to the point of being a single mother
It be
to
all cute.
have
It be all
lighter
fun and games until you get left and you don't know what to do with your baby hair because your baby hair ain't straight and they kids always be having nappy hair. Hair be standing up on top of their head. It's cute now and curly, but what you gonna do with your baby hair? Can she get some ponytails or something? A little braids, something? See,
Mhm.
I don't know. What you think, Amber? Would you choose your man based off of his color? Would you
No,
want a light skinned baby, a dark skinned baby?
I look at appearance. I don't look at like color. That's like being he ugly.
Features,
Yeah, the features.
teeth,
Yeah,
Just go by the
nose,
face. Yeah,
lips. Your lips too big. I don't. Let me go on over here. I need some more European lips.
Oh Lord.
I'm just playing. Let me stop. So we're gonna do a commercial.
So do you feel like that's a part of so when people make those statements, like to me personally, just to put my thing out there, I don't hate on interracial relationships at all. Like you love who you love, do what you do. But where I have a problem with it a lot of times is when people are fetishizing another race and doing things like this to be like to put down another race. Like I know you have those black men that are like that are dating white women, and when you ask them, oh, why do you date white women? The first thing out of their mouth is how to bash black women. They don't even
Right.
address
Right.
anything about the white woman that they're with. So, how do you guys feel about that? Like, as far as like,
Yeah. Well, I feel like speaking from like I've been watching like a lot of like Kevin Samuels, and he always be like really like some points it be like I understand, but other times it be like no, that don't even make no sense. Like and then he's talking about the weight and stuff, but like I feel like it's just that he think that we're just angry, you know what I'm saying? And that's why men go to blacks. They say some black men go to white women or different races because you know we're
Like we the angry black one?
yeah, basically.
Well, what about them being an angry black man?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it is some traits. He don't do the men because he
Of course
know
not. He a man. Like what he look like going on there bashing men? Like what? And he like men, I think. So it don't even, what he look like going on there
allegedly,
bashing men? Like,
allegedly, allegedly,
baby, any man who do a selfie like this with their clip on the show, baby, I don't know.
allegedly.
Look, question is all right though. All right, y'all, we finna go on a break. We'll be right back.
I was trying to my question. I didn't get a chance to. I'm gonna do it.
I am actually doing Thai massage this evening for you guys, which is a really intimate modality of massage. It not only is intimate in kind of a sexual, playful kind of way, but intimate in a I love you and I want to preserve you kind of way. So just a few things. You notice I'm kind of touching right above the armpits. This area is called lung 1 and lung 2, these are meridian points. These are specific for grief, right? So us as black people go through a lot, and you never know what kind of loss we experience in a day, what we need to let go of in a day. So these points at the shoulders just kind of help you to let go of everything. Okay, so that's just one of the points that you can help your lover with when they come home from work. Maybe they have a job they don't like, they're around people they don't like too much, and then they bring that in the home and you just need them to let go for a second. Maybe they can't hear you when you speak to them and they have a funny attitude for whatever reason. There's a point in between the breast. Men's nipples don't move, women's on the other hand, they change as we get older. But there's a point right in the middle of your sternum. It's a self-love point, but it's also a point you can hold on your lover if they can't quite hear you when you're communicating with them and you need them to hear you. You can touch them on this spot in their heart center and they can feel what you're saying as opposed to hearing what they're saying. This point is also known as the Sea of Calm. So if you're frustrated or even feeling like out of your body, this is a good point for you to kind of just get back into your body and be yourself again. This is my very first sex party. I'm really excited and ecstatic to be here, but I'm trying to maintain my professional composure. But But this is not only entertaining but also education. So I want to inform you that your kidney energy is also your sexual energy. It's your life force energy. Uh-oh. Oh, don't let me be able to move. Okay, can you hear me okay?
You gonna turn it on?
Okay. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready now. So your kidney energy, well, let me just throw this statistic out there for you guys so that you can really feel where I'm coming from with this. Kidney failure is the leading cause of death in black men. I'm going to say that one more time. Kidney failure is the leading cause of death in black men. So one thing that you can do when your lover comes home is just place your hand on their back. This area is known as the Ming Men. It's where your kidneys are located, and your kidneys are like your battery pack. Okay? They say there's 7 levels of heaven, and your kidney energy pushes you up to that 7th level. Okay? When you have kidney failure, or you're afraid, or you've been afraid for centuries for whatever reason, we carry this fear in our kidneys. So holding your lover's kidneys, their battery pack, kind of helps to replenish them. And I know sex feels good and sex is delightful and all that stuff, but wouldn't it be nice if your lover cared about your immune system? Like how you really feeling today? So that's one of the points. The naked lady. Okay. Let's see. I could kind of talk about this all night, but I just want to show you a few more points that I personally think are loving and kind of let my body and my spirit know that you actually care about me when you touch these areas of my body lovingly and not like you want to fuck on me, right? So one of the points is just below the knee. On the outside corner of the knee, this is known as stomach 36. It's also known as walk 3 miles. So if you're feeling a little sluggish, you need a little extra energy, this pressure point, acupressure point is simply for that. Now last but not least, one day I might be lucky enough to just sit at my lover's feet and just hold them. Maybe place them right in my lap. Okay? Your feet represent the whole body. All of your internal organs, all of your sexual organs, your lungs, your heart, like things that really hold you together. So whether you know where those areas are at, just touching your lover's feet sends that energy throughout their whole body. And energy knows where to go. You might not know where stomach 36 is, but you touching in that area, like my lover needs a little bit more energy today. Let's help him get over this hurdle, whether it's a project, whether it's a day, whether it's a hike or a walk, you're just out hanging out together. And you don't quite get in that area, your body knows what you're trying to do. So it's going to communicate with your lover and make that connection for you. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope that was
very informative.
People, I think.
What's up?
Hello, back from the break. So, so I wanted to kind of change gears a little bit with the colorism because we were kind of talking about colorism affecting like the Black community specifically, but what a lot of people don't recognize or realize that colorism is actually not inherently a Black thing. It's everywhere. In India, they have a really big problem with colorism and the darker Indians versus the lighter Indians. The same in Asian countries, darker versus lighter, and especially in Latin countries. And I think about a particular situation in Brazil that happened in 2015, where there was a dark skinned carnival queen that won, and they eventually, basically, after being bullied and pressured by Brazilians because saying that she was too dark to hold that title as the Queen of Carnival, they ended up stripping the title from her and giving it to someone who's much lighter, and that was very, therefore more socially acceptable to hold the title of Queen of Carnival. So this is something that definitely does plague other communities outside of the black community, but it all goes back to, again, like the community, the white ones.
So speaking of that, like, have y'all ever had any encounter of like colorism?
I can say that my mom, she had experienced it. She's a dark complexion, and she used to tell me like how her and her sister would go out and they would pick her over, you know what I'm saying? They would pick her sister over her to play. I don't know, it's just, it's weird. It's weird. I feel like we were conditioned to think that lighter is superior. It's your girl Lex. You had to slide that in. Yeah,
So yeah, I definitely agree. It is definitely a conditioning, something that kind of is being kind of bolstered and fed into by white supremacy and white, all of those things. Um, because, like I said, it's a way to essentially divide people,
right.
and to do it in a way that it's so ingrained that we will actually divide ourselves. That they don't even have to do the work. That we're essentially doing it for them.
That's the plan. Divide, division. They want us to hate ourselves, or they want us to hate our race. Like,
Yeah, down each other.
yeah, that's the name of the game. For the white man.
So I just want to say hey to a few people that came into the room. So hey, Renee, she asked a question. She said, Lex, by you being a lighter skinned woman, what are your views when it comes to colorism?
I don't feel like I'm light skinned first and foremost. I haven't had any issues with, you know what I'm saying, being treated differently because of my skin complexion. I consider myself like y'all. Like, I've never had an issue or anything. Like I said, I just feel like we were conditioned to feel like the lighter is right. Like, that's just what we were taught.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think it's different now? Like more
Nothing
dark
has
skin are
changed.
getting recognition?
No, I think it's still the same. Like, they want you to have the long pressed straight hair, light skin, like it's conditioning.
But I think it is different to me because like more people want like nappy hair, like you know what I'm saying, like you know, well not nappy hair, but like you know,
The curly texture type.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What you think, Britt?
So I agree actually with a comment that was made. It said black people of all shades should stop worrying about what white people want and think about us. And I think that's really important because, like I was saying before, colorism doesn't only just affect personal relationships; it can affect you in the workplace as well.
Right.
Because I was reading a few things. I actually saw a video where this woman, she was being hired to work for, I think it was a law firm, and she was actually just going to be a receptionist, but they thought that she was too dark and her hair was too coarse, as the woman says, to be like the face of the company when people come in and clean. So they ended up not hiring her, and they hired a white woman in that place because they didn't want the first thing for people to see would be this black woman, which I thought was really, it was a movie, so I mean, but I'm sure that something is actually happening. And then we have another comment. Where she says, she's like, as a brown skinned girl, I feel this day and age, the media is showing more dark skinned women as a standard of beauty in the media. I can say that. I've seen a lot more because it does seem like being black and brown is a little bit more socially acceptable because we have certain celebrities that are pushing that narrative, not all. But I bring that back to Beyonce's song Brown Skin Girl that she made. A lot of people reference that. But we still have issues with music still perpetuating this vision of light skin or Latin women, and they don't really show dark skinned women. I think about everybody's favorite show, Martin and Gina.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you got Gina and then you got Pam.
I feel
You
like
got Gina,
Pam is the
who's the light
best.
skinned girl, who's cool, she's laid back, smart, got a nice job, all this stuff. And then you got Pam, who is the loud one, more aggressive, more Matt,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, everything like that. She's always getting into it with Martin, and they're always making jokes about her being ugly and all these other things. Like that's a trope that is routinely done in like media.
That's all a part of conditioning.
Yeah, I ain't even never thought of that, but like it's all on the TVs and
Yes.
everything.
Everywhere.
So we have a few more comments. So one said, of all the people in the world, only 8% are white. Why do we care what the 8% think? And Ashley commented, I think the newer generation has done a great job with showing beautiful brown skin and dark skin. How beautiful brown skin and dark skin is.
All black is beautiful though. That's my opinion.
I feel like about that 8% comment, I'm not gonna say that 8% controls everything, but for the most part, like as far as the workforce, the white man is just like he controls everything. Like I'm not explaining it, but
Uh-huh. You said the white man controls everything?
just I would. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I would. I feel like he does. So I mean, again, you want to go out. You look for a job. You have to look at your appearance. You can't go out with your locks, and you
Hmm.
can't just go look any kind of way. You have to be presentable. Like you said, they chose another like the receptionist scenario. They chose another lady based off how she looked. So it's just like, who is controlling that narrative? The white man. If I'm
Right.
wrong, I mean, we all got different perspectives. I could be wrong. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But somebody correct me. Like,
No, I
how you feel,
understand.
Britt?
No, so I understand. There is definitely a narrative being pushed. I think as far as like what everything looks like, because we're talking about media again, we're talking about perception and how everything looks, and I think that our community also plays a good part into being presentable. But it looks like we're going to take a break here really quick, and we'll be right back to finish out this conversation.
Boom.
And I want to know if you were taking the big thing, if I could ride with you, so I don't have to drive. Could ride with you, so I don't have to drive. What's the big? Oh, the big thing. You ain't seen the big thing yet. Well, yeah. Wait, is this other car a one-seater or something? I don't know. I like the big thing. What's the big thing? It's a bus. There's room to walk around. It's got TVs in it.
Number one, first bus for HIP, donated to us by the one and only Dwayne Wiggins, Tony. Y'all out there.
Shout out, this is D Wiggs, Tony, giving a shout out to ATL Bus Academy. Y'all take it all away. I love you.
I think we're still on his answer machine. Oh, Blaine? Bring your movie. She wants to see a Too Short movie. She also wants Too Short to come to her birthday party. I do want Too Short to come. Right, that's absolutely correct. That's what was being funny, but I would love to see.
Hello, hello. So we have another guest on the show. Hello, sir. How are you? Can you introduce yourself?
I'm
No, it's tough.
too close. How you doing? My name is Tim Horn. I'm from Buffalo, New York.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'm really excited to have you on because usually with these colorism conversations, it's usually held between women, and very rarely do we get a perspective from a man
Okay.
in regards to colorism, both for professionally and for relationships. So I would love to get your take on this.
Well, for me, I was a firefighter. I'm retired now, and I dealt with that colorism as far as white and black firemen. There were certain houses to where most black firemen went to work at, and there was a firehouse to where most white men went to work at. But when we came together, when you go to a fire, it's a buddy system. I've been to a few to where you turn around and your buddy's gone. So for me, colorism on that job can be dangerous.
Mm.
You can lose your life just because this white man may not like the way you look or the way you dress or anything like that. So he may just be like, oh, well, I don't like him, so I'm just going to leave him there. And you can leave me there and I can die.
Mm,
So it's deep in that profession, black and white.
mm. Okay. Now, what about on like a relationship aspect for yourself? Like, not to get to, you don't have to give us your whole
No,
rundown
come with
on
it, come with
relationships,
it.
but within the community, do you feel like there's a clear like preference? Do you have a preference, or like when you're talking with your friends, is that ever a topic of discussion?
Oh, yes, with men, yeah, we talk about that a lot. My preference, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never dated a white woman, any woman outside of my race.
Okay.
Okay, I know that's rare for a lot of brothers, but a sister to me was always a challenge. I was never afraid to, cry in front of her, to express my feelings, to just be able to talk to her about any and everything.
Mm.
I can sometimes talk more to a female than I can to my boys about certain things. I was a mama's boy.
So,
Did
when
you have a
you're
preference
dating the
though?
black women, like, do you prefer light skin, or we're talking more about colorism in our own community? So, do you
Okay.
prefer light skin, dark skin, or it don't matter as long as it's a woman?
Dark skin women. Love dark skin women.
Ooh.
All
Love
right, see,
dark
dark skin,
skin
that one.
women.
Check. Okay. No, I'm just saying.
Yes.
Is there anything like is there anything driving that particular preference?
Um, wow, that's a deep question. No, not to me. I guess it's just seeing a dark skinned women. Think of our ancestors and our slave women. It was all dark skinned women, strong, things like that. So when I see a dark skinned woman, I see a strong woman.
Mm.
Mm,
So, have you dated light skinned women before?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I was married to a light skinned woman, and that was oof.
How was that? Like, is it really a difference between light skinned and dark skinned women? Like, when it comes to dating, intimacy, dating, how does, is it a difference to you?
Uh, yes, to me it was. My ex-wife was she was a very beautiful woman, and I just see light skinned women just look at her like, oh, I'm cute, I'm cute, I'm cute. Any man's gonna want me.
Mm.
So they just figure because they light skinned, they can get any man they want.
Mm.
Okay, me, I love a challenge. I mean, you can just, I mean, your soul can be beautiful to me before your looks.
Mm.
Okay, so with me, I look inner, I look deeper. It ain't all about what you wearing, how you look, your makeup. As long as we can vibe and have a conversation and sit down and be able to just, I mean, really have a conversation, not just, oh, this, that. No, no, let's talk about some politics. Let's talk about some finance. Let's talk about some future things like that.
Mm.
I get enough of that off the media.
Right. Mm.
Okay. So your perspective is more so, it's not uncommon because I definitely hear that there are a lot of black men who prefer dark skinned women over light skinned women for similar reasons as yourself. So just to kind of get back to a couple of comments, somebody complimented your voice. They said you have a good, a nice voice.
Thank you.
Sexy
And they
boy.
said exactly.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
They said exactly strength is equated to dark skinned women. Definitely.
Yes.
So Felicia said this is a great topic, and I know there was a comment before referencing Candace Owens and the difference between light skinned women are usually put in rap videos, but women like Candace Owens are the ones that are usually ended up with white men. So do you, in these conversations with your friends and everything, do you find that a lot of black men prefer like dating outside of their race?
Not the friends that I have. I'm a much older gentleman, and right now we that's difficult. That's difficult because I have friends that prefer women. Period.
Mm.
White, black, dark, Asian, they don't care. I have some friends that like older women. Personally, I was into older women when I was younger.
Mhm.
It was for the knowledge.
Mm.
Okay, there's a lot of things that our boys can tell us, but there's nothing like hearing it from a woman herself.
Mhm.
A woman can tell you how to please her. A woman can tell you what she wants, what she don't want. Sometimes the brothers just don't listen.
Hmm.
Y'all
That might be
continue, but
another
that's very
subject. Like that might be
interesting.
another topic for another time. We might need to have.
Yeah, that's another topic, and that's very. I'm in the background, y'all. This is Don. I'm monitoring, but I just had to step in because that's very interesting that he said that.
Yes.
Because Jessica and I was having a conversation about that, and that's going to be the next show topic.
For real, for y'all show.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well, we
Well,
gonna
it's
bring it
gonna
on
be
up
ATL
here.
yeah,
Mixx
we're
too.
gonna hire him back.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
whoever
thank you,
said that
thank
he
you.
had a really nice voice, he gonna be back.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back
He
for
got
sure.
that. Mm.
Stop,
So
stop
so
playing, stop playing.
so you said in the work environment though, you really haven't had an issue with like colorism. It's been more of like a black and white thing for you in the work environment professionally.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I've dealt with racism. One example, we had a firefighter. He was rookie. He just graduated, went to his first firehouse. There was a monkey with a noose around the neck hanging off
Oh,
his locker.
Mm.
wow.
Now, when I tell you about black firehouses and white firehouses, he got assigned to a white firehouse. And he was the only brother on a crew of five. He came into work one day and he found a monkey with a noose hanging off his locker.
Mm.
Did he get to the bottom of who did it?
Yes, they found out who did it.
What he doing? Nothing.
No, he got fired, took away his pension, his benefits, his medical, like he never existed.
He should have
Wow.
went on and got that ass whooped too. Just saying.
Trust me. If he was in the right neighborhood, yeah, we would have
Yeah.
got that.
I would have followed his ass home.
Oh, so I can't cuss?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can.
shit. Okay, okay. I was
So
trying to
what
be
are your
really politically
views
correct.
on
Right, look, he came on here with the sexy
yeah.
very white,
Nah,
So
smooth,
how do you
Luther.
feel about colorism and like what are your thoughts on it? Because a lot of people, like I said, it's definitely a divisive tool that
it
I
is
feel
very
like was
cool.
almost given to us and we just kind of took it and ran with it and now we're using it so much to our detriment, of course. So how do you feel about it or what are your viewpoints on it?
Well, my views on it is I respect anybody that respects me. Your color doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it's a basis of how we're living right now. Black, white, Chinese, this and that. We live in this neighborhood, they live in that neighborhood. I just want to get along with anybody and everybody that I can. I'm going to respect you as I don't care what color you are.
Hmm.
But in today's society, color is what drives us. If you're black, you're supposed to be an athlete. You're supposed to do this. I know some brothers can't dribble a basketball. Okay, but there's white hockey is white, basketball is black. But when you put a black person in hockey, they like, oh, how did he get here? Why did he get here? He's good. That's why.
Right.
Okay, he has the skills to play hockey. He has the skills to be on that ice. So just because he's black doesn't mean he ain't supposed to play hockey. Okay, so for me, I just look at it as long as you're respectful, I'm good with you. Your color doesn't mean a thing.
That's good. And I think as a culture we should definitely, like a comment was made earlier, is we should definitely stop feeding into this narrative of light versus dark and brown and everything, because it shouldn't matter. It
No, it
definitely
shouldn't.
shouldn't matter. And it looks like we're gonna break for a quick video really quick, and then we'll be right back.
It's not a break. Just
Don, I think your sound is not on.
oh, and that's not in English. I'm
So,
sorry
but that
for
brings up an
yeah.
interesting thing about the doll test. Like, so a lot of people are familiar with the doll test. They actually did do an updated one with Anderson Cooper recently, where they have these children coming through and picking between the light doll and the dark doll, what is the good doll? What is the nice doll? What is the mean doll? What is the bad doll? And everything. So where do you think those original thoughts come from? Because these are children. So, in theory, they wouldn't have access to media the way an adult.
I think it's born. It comes from home. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I got a daughter. She's 9. When she was little, like she's a lighter skinned child. Well, she was. She's getting a little darker now, but when she was younger, huh?
She yellow.
I'm saying, was she a little darker than she was? She was really, really, really light when she was younger, and she really thought she was white. She was like, "Mama, I'm white skinned. I'm not black." I'm like, "Girl, what is white skin? Who told you that? Like, where you get this from?" Because I don't do all that. I don't care about color, and I didn't teach her all that. But I do not. I don't do it now. What I'm saying is, I don't like her watching all the little white kids on YouTube because she started acting like. So I be like, you need to watch a black family on YouTube if you're gonna be watching YouTube. Get it to them, that little money for them views. Get it to the little black kids. But I don't know. I think it comes from home. Period. Because kids don't know. Like I used to take her to the store, get whatever doll she want. I didn't care if it was a black doll, white doll, whatever doll you pick, it's your doll. I'm not gonna say don't get it because it's white. No, if she want it, that's what she chooses.
Well, I have seen that myself to some parents in the store, and their daughter pick up a white doll and they be like, go find a black doll. And it's like, she just wants a doll.
Right, they don't know.
They don't know. They don't know. So it definitely starts from home.
Yeah, they don't know. You teach them that.
Yeah.
Well, definitely, I think it's definitely important to have representation, because going back to that video I was talking about with Anderson Cooper, he had 2 children, a black boy and a black girl, and he asked them what skin tone would they choose to be if they could, and both of them said white. When he asked the boy why, the boy was pretty much like, he said he didn't know, he just liked it better. He would want to be white. The girl, she really broke my heart, because she was like, because I don't like brown. Brown is dirty and nasty and ugly. And I want to be white because that's better. And she said it in a way that was very, she understood what she was saying, very straight to the point, and no hesitation. She was just like, brown is dirty to me, and she was touching her skin, and I was like, where would you get that from as a child?
That's all.
Because she could have been no more than 7 or 8 years old.
That's all.
But it's still at home, or it's something that she's watching to make her feel that way. If you turn on the TV and your kid always looking at little white kids on TV, of course they're gonna feel like, oh, I want to be like them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you turn your TV on and you always showing your kids black stuff, black families or whatever, or your culture, then that's what you need to do. Start your kids up if that's what you want them to do, and you want them to choose dark skin stuff and black dolls and all that. I mean, you gotta teach your kids like you're beautiful. It don't matter what your color is. I always say my baby she's beautiful, but then too she lighter, so she might be a little privileged. I don't know.
Yeah, so I agree. It definitely comes from home because even though my mom has not said anything like this. Oh, looks like we have another video. So it looks like from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. So they're talking again about how overwhelmingly the black dolls are chosen less. And it goes back to that. But I agree. I feel like a lot of it is definitely at home because even though my mom has never said these things, I remember going to friends' house and their parents yelling at us for being outside because when we come in, they're like, look at y'all getting black, stay out of the sun. You getting too dark, stay out of the sun. I've heard that before. I've heard like not any of my relatives because we're a smorgasbord of colors, but I've been with friends where like their parents or their aunt would be like, "Oh, she's a pretty little light girl. She need to be in the house. Don't go outside and get dirty."
Wow.
Don't do these things like that. Like I've actually seen where people will favor certain children because of how their hair texture is, or how light they are, and different things like that. So I agree. It's definitely a lot of it is in the home, and it's like that's that internalized hatred. I believe a lot of it is internalized hatred.
Well, honestly, when I was younger, I had an issue. I'm not gonna say it was an issue. It was more like I felt like lighter skin was better when I was a little kid. But as I got older, I seen, I liked it black dolls. Like I was not going to the store. My mom wouldn't buy me no white dolls because I didn't want them. I want a black doll. I'm black. I want a black doll. I want a doll that look like me.
Okay, well.
But I think it's still. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna take this back a little bit. Growing up, going to high school, all the light-skinned guys got the cheerleaders, got the best-looking women. This and this. Oh, I want him to have a baby with me. My baby gonna have good hair and all that good stuff. Now, all those light-skinned brothers that I went to high school with, drugged out, looking like they're about 90 years old and they 40.
Exactly.
I mean, the hair gone, they bald, and it's like, wow, here I am, just a smart, intelligent, dark-skinned brother. But just because I couldn't give your baby wavy hair, I wasn't a choice. But see, this dark-skinned brother to this day now, we.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had me a light skinned boyfriend when I was in like ninth grade, and he used to always tell me like, "You pretty for a dark skinned girl." That's why I was talking to him. Like I always like light skinned girls, and I'm like, "Damn, I'm cute to be for a dark skinned girl." Like,
but
the nerve.
It was just hard, back in the '80s, just just hearing that I want a light skinned man because I want a cute baby. I want my baby to have good hair. I want my baby to have light eyes.
And they don't guarantee that.
No,
It's genetics, y'all, not just color.
No, it's not guaranteed, but it's just that just going through that, hearing that a dark skinned man wasn't good enough because I wasn't light skinned and have good hair.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, okay.
And look at them now. Y'all done lost out.
Yeah, now I'm lost out. Damn,
y'all done lost out.
Right.
I snatch what I
So thank you so much for coming on to the show tonight. Colorism, like I said, is one of those shows we're definitely going to do like a second and a third part to it probably, because this is such a deep topic and we've actually just barely scratched the surface.
Barely.
So we definitely thank you so much, sir, for coming in and speaking with us.
No problem.
We're definitely going to have you back again. And we just want to thank everybody that's been tuning in. Ashley, tell them where we can meet you and everything like that.
Okay, guys, you can follow me on Instagram at Ashley Finesse. That's FINESE. Facebook, Ashley Dorsey. You can follow the show at the ATL Mixx on Instagram. Follow Coffee Talk TV, and I think you know the rest of them. Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Well, actually, he can go ahead and tell us where we can find you.
You want Instagram, social media?
Oh, Lord, I don't know none of that. The way you just spit that out, I think you go look at my phone.
Right.
But I can give them the information, and if they don't want to put it back on here, that's fine.
Okay.
But thank you very much.
Of course, and you can follow me at Lady Poetry 86. Definitely follow station at LE Radio Live. Always go to coffeetalk.com and definitely tune in for the next show next Friday, ATL Mixx. We're gonna do probably a part 2 of this one of colorism again, and we're gonna start back at it. And I just want to say Happy Pride Month. It is Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
And happy early birthday to me because I'm be turning 35 in a couple of days.
Happy birthday, Rick. Are you getting old, girl?
I know I'm getting old, don't tell me. Thank you, everybody. Amber, Lex, Ashley, everybody that's been today and that was part of the show. We love you guys, and we will be back on Friday.
We will.
All right. Thank you.
No more off days.
Right.
Except for my birthday weekend. Not your birthday.
No, guys. We got to turn up. We're going to be wherever you at.
Right in Phoenix. All right, y'all.
All right.
Have a good night.
You are now tuned in to Coffee Talk on LE Radio. Serving you up some new flavor, fresh out of ATL. Where the vibes prevail, the convo's held between a scale of 1 to 10 exceeds 1,000. But do you feel me? Go ahead and get your cups ready as we pour into your mind, slow and steady. You may need a full cup for this. CoffeeTV.com. We got raw and adulterated conversations, live, provocative entertainment, new flavor in your ear for my podcast, talk show, radio. Watch us live online in the studio. Tell a friend they can come too. Never know what's in store with the whole crew. Cause we got you. Yeah. Get here for the vibes. Follow us at LE Radio Live.